in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The unwanted to Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia!
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them. George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage. Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage. Back body draw! You see the height on that? Targeting the throat there.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief. Showing he's not out of it. But George has to push. Now, here we go. It's popping off.
The fight is on, and it's furious.
Back and forth. Neither one giving up any ground. Got him right where he wants him. The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steele to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steele. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steele makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
And all he has to do is finish getting over the top of the cage, and he's home free.
It's not over yet. It took all he had to get up there, guys. He might be gassed.
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching. And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal. And now the climb down could be as tough as the climb up for him.
Into a German suplex.
That just reverberated throughout the entire building. Talk about making a statement.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here. Oh, this, what a headbutt.
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it's served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime. Well, before any of that happens.
Double leg takedown. Gonna stack them up here.
Shoulder pin.
And he doesn't let the pin last long at all.
An almost instantaneous kick out there. A lot of work left to do.
Blow after blow, he's on continuous assault.
Can Steele recover from this adversity? Headbutt! Ooh, brutal impact into the corner.
George the Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
Oh, hold on. Is he thinking of a submission here?
Twisting their left, able to punch his way out.
Wicked clothesline. Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
And I don't see Peter Maivia slowing down anytime soon. Oh! Maivia has Steele in his sights, looking to put the animal down once, and George is caught.
Boom! What a backbreaker. No way Steele's coming back from that.
Systematic attack on that arm.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui. Fought back with a punch to the gut. Punisher.
Going in for the win here.
He breaks the ref's count after one.
There is no quit in this man tonight. Wow. Vicious, downright savage club right there.
Oh no, now possibly setting up for a submission maneuver.
Got this one locked in extra tight. This might be it.
He has nowhere to go. Tap, he taps.
Here is your winner, George the Animal Steele.
Somehow, some way, George the Animal Steele is able to walk out of this cage with a victory over High Chief Peter Maivia.
It's got to be some sort of weird mixture between luck and...
Steel cage match underway. Peter Maivia versus George the Animal Steele. Most of the matches between Peter Maivia and George Steele have ended inconclusively, but this time we'll have a winner.
These are two very different men, Cole. The High Chief is a man of great pride and respect for the ring, while Steele is, well, he's an animal. I can't think of two opponents with more opposing styles.
You said it, Corey. Let's just hope this one gets taken care of in the ring tonight.
The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steele to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Big back body drop. What elevation. Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
Ouch. Not targeting the arm.
Oh, my goodness, dribbling the opponent's head like a basketball.
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact,
Flying.
oh. Look at Maivia going to work on the animal.
Nothing fancy here. Cased in victory.
Oh, look at this. Reverses the leverage. Hold it, reverses it. Shoulders down. He kicks out instantly.
Channeling his energy to stay in this matchup.
Being carried around now.
It's the airplane fan.
Your legs have to feel like jelly after you got spun like that. Oh, strong impact. Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One male based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching.
And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal.
We've seen that Steele isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia. So he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steele, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting.
George Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
Had it scouted. Now can capitalize. Took him out the knee. Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
A series of disabling maneuvers from Peter Maivia.
Well, George has certainly seen better days. Kick to the stomach puts an end to that.
Big back body drop. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature.
But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor.
Into the pin. Could be over for Maivia. He breaks the ref's count before 2.
It's hard to believe, but it looks like he still has some gas left in the tank.
The cage door's being open. Can he escape?
Uh-oh.
Running Bulldog!
Kick to the back.
George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation. Oh, what's coming here? Submission move being applied. Targeting the arm, holding on for dear life.
Able to punch his way out.
Big impact.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Steele now just trying to survive. Right to the throat. Ooh.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was...
He's trying again. Oh, back first.
Maivia can taste it now. Maivia has Steele in his sights, looking to put the animal down.
He's about to do it. He's about to do it again. Backbreaker.
And George is laid out.
He's signaling for the door.
Hey, go for the easy win. Why not?
Oh, look at this.
He could escape right here.
He's not going to let him leave the cage, at least not without a fight first. Back and forth, these two go near the exit. Only going to take one misstep to end things.
And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered.